Hey, good Saturday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majestic back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Weather Studios with a special severe weather update on this upcoming system that we're anticipating moving through the area as we go into Sunday night and into Monday morning. All right, this is going to be a humdinger of a storm, looks like. Again, I don't think it's going to be a major outbreak. I'm more concerned about some very gusty winds along this boundary as this moves on through. There is the potential for isolated tornadoes there. We're going to break all that down here for you. Now, before we get into this full update, if you're new here to our channel and you live anywhere here across North Georgia, let me introduce myself. I'm meteorologist Greg Majestic, and I'm on a mission to build a 24-hour professional weather channel here across North Georgia. And if you'd like to get updates like these on a regular basis and make sure you're alerted on our live severe weather coverage, please make sure you subscribe at this time. And more importantly, make sure you hit that notification bell so you're alerted on all future weather updates. Now, our storm system as it stands right now hasn't come together yet. Okay, we're watching a lot of cold air. We're watching the system way up here across northern Canada and southern Canada and northern United States. That's going to be dropping down into our area. It's going to be driven by a very powerful jet stream, and we're just having the ingredients coming together for this to be a pretty substantial severe weather event, not only for North Georgia but for a big part of the country as we start tomorrow and going into your Monday. And we're going to abruptly go from spring weather to winter weather. We're even talking about maybe a little bit of snow mixed in on this, on the tail of this, as we go into your Monday afternoon. So let's go ahead and get on what's going on right now. Look what's going on in advance of this thing. I mean, we've got literally have winter storm warnings and blizzard warnings out here. I've been seeing stories here across the Great Lakes where they are going to get buried in literally feet of snow, as this is going to be a mammoth low pressure system, and we're going to be catching the front as this moves through our area as we go into Monday. Monday morning's my main concern, and it looks like at night, which is going to be very, very dangerous situation when that happens, okay? So let's get into the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. Let's go ahead and break these down first, all right? We're going to start off with this as we're looking at your Sunday outlook, okay? So this is for your Sunday. We're going to break down the categories. So you can see here, we got Northeast Georgia here in the marginal. We got the yellow here in that's level 2. And look at all this back here. This is level 3 back to our west. Now, we're fortunate this is coming in at night and not during the day. If it was coming in during the day, we probably would be in that orange area as well. But fortunately, the instability is going to be a little less, but still there as a possible ingredient here. So that the timing is working in our favor a little bit. Let's break down the day 2 categorical breakdowns here. The tornado risk here all across North Georgia is running about a 2. Back to the west earlier in the day on Sunday, it's running about a 5% there. The wind threat's going to be the big thing. As you can see here, we've got substantial winds here. We're talking 30% chance, even some 40%, 45% up here in the purple zone. So the wind threat with this thing is going to be tremendous. You see the yellow here coming into western Georgia, the brown there coming on there. But here's the thing, folks. And the hail threat, hold on real quick. Get the hail threat real quick. Hail threat, not a big deal. We're not worried about hail. So it's wind and tornadoes are going to be our threat here for this. But the tornado risk is running 2%. However, I'm going to show you some things that have me a little concerned that maybe that 2% may go up a little bit. We're going to watch closely here. But let me show you what's going on with this. Let's go look at your day 3 outlook here. And again, you kind of shift it to the east here. Again, this is coming overnight. Now, these updates, they go from 7 o'clock in the morning on Sunday to 7 o'clock in the morning on Monday, and then it shifts. So that's why we see a jump to yellow there across northeast Georgia back toward Atlanta, and then you see the orange now coming back over into the Carolinas. Why is that? Because it'll be daytime. It'll be warmer over that way, better instability, stronger storms over that way as it pushes off toward the east. So there's our breakdown on the system as it's moving on in. So let's get into the model data here. We're going to show you what's driving this train, all right? Now let's go start off with our jet stream. Again, that's what's driving this. We're getting this very strong jet stream that's diving down here across the south central part of the United States. All right, now watch what happens here as we get into the overnight period here going into Monday morning, okay? So this is going into Monday morning. We got a very strong, powerful jet. We have what we call divergent flow in here, which means the winds are are separating as it's moving, again, closer toward our area here. And as that moves on through, that's going to drive down some very cold air right down out of the Arctic, coming right down the pike, and it's going to make things a lot colder in here. Like I said, I expect temperatures probably by Monday afternoon falling into the 30s. We'll start out in the 60s, and we're going to fall into the 30s as we go into the afternoon. Really kind of shows you that the clash of the air masses. All right, so let's look at the latest NAM on this. We're going to look at the 6Z NAM here as we're going to be tracking this in. Again, today's a gorgeous day. Saturday, hope you get out and enjoy some great weather. I know a lot of St. Patrick's Day events are going on today because, of course, it's falling on a Tuesday. So a lot of things going on. Looks like Sunday might see a few showers in here, but watch what happens as we watch this system get firing. Here it comes back here to the west by 7 o'clock in the evening on Sunday, watching the line of showers and thunderstorms. And yeah, we got snow up there into Missouri and into Arkansas, and this thing really gets firing along. So it's going to be along this initial boundary right here. We're going to see some brief, very gusty winds, 70, 80 mile per hour winds, especially up in here. I think 70 mile per hour winds for us. And then as this thing comes on, tracking off toward the east, it's going to be hauling. So as we go in toward, looks like about 3 in the morning, we're approaching northwest Georgia at that time at 3 in the morning. And then at 4 in the morning, it's coming across northwest Georgia. So my area of concern right now, looking at all the different parameters, is going to be up in this area in here. And I'll show you why here in just a second as we kind of break down the different elements for this. So this is going to move on through the area. Notice by the time we get to 6 o'clock in the morning, it's coming into the northeast Georgia area, coming into Gainesville, down toward Atlanta, and then kind of moving on through. And then look what happens behind this. This is very interesting. As that cold air just comes crashing in, we're seeing this pink, that's sleet, and there's some snow in the blue coming in, going into the afternoon. So we may go from severe weather to a little bit of snow showers, snow flurries, and some sleet. No accumulations expected with this, by the way, but of any significance. But that's very interesting. We're going to go from literally spring to winter weather with this. All right. Now let's break down the parameters on this. Okay. So we're going to be first taking a look at what we call CAPE, okay? That's basically gasoline. That is fuel for the thunderstorms, okay? So as we go ahead and take this into your Sunday night and into Monday, you're going to notice that CAPE come up. All right, so as we go toward 3 in the morning, we're getting up to 800, 867, 763. These are not bad by March standards. Some pretty good fuel coming in. So we got some CAPE. We can check that box. We got that, right? So that's moving on through with the front, and it goes ahead and clears. So we got some CAPE there. We got to talk about wind shear. So this is about 2 in the morning here. See all these darker colors in here? That's changing winds with heights, okay? So the winds are going to be coming out from the south at the surface, but you go above, they're going to be coming in more out of the west. So it's kind of a 90-degree turn here. So the air is twisting, it's turning with height, and we've got some good wind energy here aloft. So we got some very good wind shear here up across North Georgia. So we got some wind shear. All right, we got that in place. All right, then we're going to take a look at those two elements, the different kind of elements, and we're looking at what we call the significant tornado parameters. Kind of looks at different elements and says, and places a number. Okay, where's the highest tornado risk going to be? And as of this particular run, what's catching my eye here is at by 4 o'clock in the morning, we're seeing a 4 and a 3, seeing a concentration of the colors here up across North Georgia in here as that front's coming on through. So again, that's a nighttime event. That's not a very good thing to have here, obviously that early in the morning with the potential severe weather moving on through. And then this moves off toward the east and it settles on down, okay? Now, of course, the timing on this could change a little bit, and we'll do another update tomorrow to see if there's any significant changes here on its progress, but that's what the current model is showing right now. All right, so not a ton of rain with this. We're not worried about flooding. Flooding's not a problem. We might get a quick inch of rain out of this for some locations, but really not going to be a big deal as this kind of goes on by with the rain threat. Now, here's the other part of this. Watch the temperatures, guys. This is a tremendous drop-off here as we go into this. Now, today's going to be great. I mean, we're talking well in the 70s. Just a gorgeous day here on your Saturday. It'll be a warm one on Sunday, although we do have some showers in the forecast here, so it may not be quite as warm going into your Sunday. And I think this is a little underdone here. But look what happens. Look at this front. This is a very, very sharp line here. We've got 40s crashing right into 60s. A very sharp dividing line here. And look what happens here as we go. So we're talking about, as you look at 3 o'clock in the morning, we're well into the 60s for everybody here. Again, so as this comes on through, the temperatures are going to be falling here all day. Here's 7 o'clock. So look what happens by the time we get to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're in the 30s, all the way down to Metro Atlanta, 33, 34, 37, 38, 37. We are crashing these temperatures, and that's why we're going to have a little bit of sleet, a little bit of snow flurries here with this, as the temperatures are just going to crash big time as this moves on into the area. Then we got to watch what's going on out ahead of this front, which is very interesting on this one. Looking at the NAM here is that as we go into your Sunday evening, before the storms even get here, we're looking at some very gusty winds here out ahead of the front. Here's our front back here with the thunderstorms, and then we're already going to have some gusty winds already before the storms even get into the area. We're going to have winds start to pick up as the front approaches. So as the front approaches, expect some gusty winds. I do expect potentially a wind advisory with this, and then the winds die down behind the front, actually showing a 20-mile-per-hour wind gusts behind this thing. We'll see if the pressure gradient is not tighter than that, and we don't get higher wind gusts than that going in throughout the day on Monday. I suspect it will be a little bit higher there, but it looks like we're in store for some pretty gusty winds out ahead of that main rain front as it comes on through our area. All right, so once again, I want to go back over here to the main advisory here. So here's the thing here. As we're going to go back in, I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer here once again on this. So again, looking at North Georgia, again, you're looking at a level 2 and level 1. This level 1 area will go over to level 2 as the storms come over. Again, this is going from 7 to 7. So they do broad brush this just a little bit. All right, and then we go into day 3, and then we're going off to the east. All right, so that's our look right there. Again, right now, the tornado risk is low. Everybody's under that green zone right now. However, as I'm looking at the parameters as it looks right now, the potential for this to go up to 5%, I think, is there. I'll be honest about that. But we still got another day to kind of watch and see how the elements of this start to come together for right now. But what I'm seeing right now on the big picture tells me we got to watch this very, very closely, as it's going to be a potential headache and problem for areas across North Georgia, especially at night. So what I'm going to do here, folks, for you guys that want to keep you guys prepared, if you do not have one of these, this is one of your weather radios here. Very good thing to have here for night, especially nighttime. Make sure this thing is turned on if you do have one of these. I'm going to put in the comment section below here on YouTube to sign up for our service. It's called Weather Call. It's basically where I call you on your phone and let you know there's a tornado warning or severe thunderstorm warning in your area. It's only going to go off if you're in that warning area. So if your location is pinged into that polygon area, you're going to get a call, you're going to get a text message, you're going to get the radar image showing you in relation to that storm, and you're going to get a call from me. So it really kind of takes, if you're not comfortable with weather apps and all that kind of stuff, it'll just takes that part of it out of the equation. So just make sure you turn your phone on. So once you sign up for the service, you got a test call, save the number in your phone, and you get a test call from me. So again, I plan on doing another one of these updates here potentially later today. We'll see how the models behave for this afternoon, and we'll do another one for tomorrow morning. So again, you guys just check it out here on the YouTube channel. YouTube channel will be our primary streaming element for severe weather coverage. We will simulcast on our Facebook page, but YouTube's got to be our primary because of just how it functions better as far as reaching our audience during severe weather. Okay? All right, that's it for today. That's y'all's update. Y'all be good, stay safe, get out and enjoy Saturday. It's going to be a gorgeous day, and just get yourself mentally prepared as we watch. We're getting into that time of year, and the good news is once this goes on by, we're going to get a break for the rest of the month. I think the rest of the month is looking quieter and much drier, so we'll get a little bit of a break here as we go into toward the end of the month. All right, that's y'all's update. Y'all be good, stay safe, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.